You 2017.
Look down, you're talking to your highness. Can't see me, I'm the reason for your blindness. They tried this, but I'm too classy for your lines. Got my double cups up, that's the reason that I'm like this, like this, like this, like this.
'Cause I'm a lady, that's why.
Hey guys, it's Blaize. I am sweating and I'm wearing my Jack Skellington sweatshirt that I got for my B-Day, so maybe wearing a sweatshirt would not be smart if you're sweating, but hi, it's me, I'm Blaize. If you are interested in this makeup look, I just did a Get Ready With Me New Year's Eve edition with doing this makeup look, so go ahead and check that out, and I will link it in this video somewhere so you can go and check that out. Before I get into everything, please make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, and I always have at least one free monthly beauty giveaway, no catch, not sponsored whatsoever. It goes from my pocket and gives directly to you, and I always do content and stuff like this. Like, I have awesome content, okay? I'm a nice person and you should just give me a chance, okay? You guys on my Facebook page yesterday or the day before that if you would be interested in seeing a video that was not beauty related or a story time video, and every one of you, I took a poll, every single one of you said yes, that you would definitely want to see that. Sorry, it's like I'm trying to adjust here. Hi, there we go, that's better. Hi. 2017 sucked. There was so many terrorist attacks and shootings, and you know, I'm not going to get political or anything. I don't do politics on this channel for a reason, but most of all, it sucked because so many amazing people, celebrity-wise, were taken from us, and this video is dedicated to the top people that I had a personal thing with. Not, that sounds sexual, it's not. I meant like somebody who was a huge impact on my life. These are not going to be in any particular order, but let's just get started. First, we're going to start with Chris Cornell. If you don't know who Chris Cornell is, where have you been since the 90s? Hello. Chris Cornell was the lead singer of Soundgarden and Audioslave, and worse, he committed suicide. And, well, that's what they say. They say he committed suicide. I cried when I heard this because my sister even has her old Sega, okay? Her old Sega, where she wrote with whiteout Chris Cornell on her Sega. And he has been a huge part of our lives, my family, for a very long time. He was unbelievably talented. He had an amazing voice that you can literally feel what he's feeling when he sings, and it was just so emotional and so raw, and he helped change the grunge game back in the 90s, and he continued doing it, and my sister took it very hard and is still taking it very hard. I got her for her main gift for Christmas a Chris Cornell t-shirt. She, you know, decorated her pumpkin with Loud Love, which is something to do with Chris Cornell. And yeah, so this loss he was too young, and it was very shocking, and you know, rest in peace. I don't know if it was suicide or not, but you know, does it really matter? He's still gone, and you know, that's terribly depressing. So along the same lines, Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park. Linkin Park was and still is one of my favorite bands of all time. When they first came out when I was in middle school. I had their CDs burned because, you know, that's what we did back then. We burned CDs, and I listened to it every single day. Again, like Chris, Chester committed suicide, but I kind of have conspiracy theories where I don't think it was as clear as just a suicide. But he was actually friends with Chris. This is all well public knowledge, but again, his voice, the lyrics were so raw and so emotional and really helped me get through a difficult time, especially in school, where I was bullied and picked on, and I was just, you know, teenagers have a lot of like extra emotions. They're hormonal, everything is just bigger than it should be, and he and Linkin Park got me through a lot of my depression and feeling like I was outcast, and then it was like, okay, well maybe, you know, I'm not different like that. I'm not crazy because other people have that feeling too. So, you know, again, rest in peace to Chester. It was awful and very shocking, and again, way too young, and he left behind so many children, and I don't believe it was a cut and clear suicide. If you guys follow this, then let me know what your opinions are down below about it, because I think there's just a little too much information that's just not right. This next one probably hit me the hardest. I mentioned all three of these people in past videos, and Nelsan Ellis, who played Lafayette on my favorite show of all time, True Blood. When I saw, I'm gonna try not to cry, that he died, I was like, this has to be one of those hoaxes like they did with like Macaulay Culkin, like, you know, like, and when I saw that he actually did die, my heart stopped and I cried for a couple days. True Blood, if just a mini backstory, if you are new here or you don't know, or you're just stumbling across this video, my fiance died in 2008, May 1st, 2008. And I found his body. I have a whole video on it. It's one of my first videos on this channel. I'm not gonna go into all of that, but I was in a very, very dark spot in my life where I was having suicidal thoughts. Not saying I was going to do it, but just thoughts. And nothing was making me happy, nothing at all. And nothing was keeping my attention off the fact that this tragedy happened. And then my mom called me into her room and she was like, there's this, like, what was it? It wasn't a document. It was like a special about vampires. And I've been obsessed with vampires my entire life. Like, I am a vampire, hey. So my mother called me into her room. She's like, why don't we, you know, give this a watch, you know, it'll be fun, whatever. And I said, okay. So we started watching it, and they were going through all the different vampire movies and stuff and folklore about it. And then they were like talking about this new show that was going to be coming on called True Blood. And it was going to be about vampires. And I started seeing the little bits and pieces that they did give you in this little special, and I noticed right away, Bill Compton and Eric Northman at first, and then they showed one clip of Lafayette that made me laugh so hard, and it had been weeks since I laughed last, and I was like, I don't want to die because I really, really, really want to watch this show. And I was watching so many shows, Family Guy, South Park, House, just so many TV shows where I was just trying to get myself out of this dark hole and this depression, and True Blood did it for me. And Lafayette was one of my top 3 favorite characters on that show. And so unbelievably young and sudden, like there was like no warning whatsoever, just like Chris and Chester. But this one hit me very hard because somebody who helped me get out of the worst situation in the world is now dead. And I know True Blood ended. I know True Blood, you know, it had a finale, which sucked, by the way, the whole last season, but it feels like kind of like a friend died to me, because I don't want to get so emotional about this, but rest in peace, Nelson. I'll always refer to him as Lafayette because that's what he do.
Tip your waitress.
Charlie Murphy! Next one up, unfortunately, is Charlie Murphy, who is Eddie Murphy's younger brother, who was a cast member on The Chappelle Show, which is a favorite show of mine, my sister, and my best friends, and everything like that. And we would always watch the Rick James, Charlie Murphy, you know, and Prince, Charlie Murphy skits and stuff like that. And he was just so unbelievably funny, and he could have gone so much farther in his career, and it was very, very sad to hear about his passing. So why are they taking the best people that are just too young to be dead? Okay, well, this one, at least he's not too young, but, you know, he wasn't that old either, I mean. But my next on my list is George Romero. If you do not know who George Romero is, again, where have you been living your whole life? He is the godfather of zombies and zombie movies. He originally did Night of the Living Dead and so many zombie movies after that. And he was a horror movie legend. And it was very, very sad to hear about his passing. But not as sad because he wasn't in his like 20s and 30s and early 40s. He was older, but you know, that's what happens when people get older. And rest in peace to George Romero. He has done a lot for all the horror addicts in the world. Oh, this is just sad. Adam West. Again, he wasn't so young, but he was definitely my second favorite character on Family Guy. I loved his portrayal of himself on Family Guy. He's my favorite Batman, and I don't even like superhero stuff. He was just hilarious, and I really, really enjoyed his work. And, you know, he always seemed like to be such a happy, positive person, and that's something that's really lacking in our world nowadays. And yeah, so R.I.P. to Adam Wee. Family Guy joke. Adam West. Ugh. Tom Petty. Tom Petty recently died, which sucks because I listened to Tom Petty my whole childhood. You know, my favorite song of his was Mary Jane's Last Dance. How typical, probably his most famous song, but it is a great song. And I don't know why, when I was younger, it just like hit me somewhere. I didn't even know what some of the context meant, but it's just the way the song just really hit me, and he was an amazing and talented person. So R.I.P. Tom Petty. Daisy Berkowitz. As you guys may know if you've been with me, one of my favorite artists in the world is Marilyn Manson, and I love Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids, which Daisy Berkowitz, stroke, I'm back.
Are you sure about that?
Daisy Berkowitz was a member of Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids, and again, somebody a little too young to die. Very unique and artistic person, and will definitely be missed, so R.I.P. Daisy. Hey, for all my wrestling lifers out there, Bobby the Brain Heenan. If you don't follow wrestling, he was not a wrestler. He was a manager. He did some commentary. He was hilarious. He was definitely somebody who changed the managing game, and he was a bit older, and he will also be missed. So he is a legend. Bobby the Brain, rest in peace. For all my Game of Thrones addicts, such as myself, Ian White passed away early this year, like I think in January. He played Wun the Giant on Game of Thrones. I know he didn't have many, parts in it. He was only there for a couple of episodes, but he was adorable, and I loved him. And it's very, very sad that he had to die from an illness that he was born with. And it was great while it lasted. So rest in peace, Ian. Wun. I want to call him Wun, so I'm going to call him Wun. Bill Paxton is probably going to be the last on my list of people that I am super upset about. And one of my favorite movies of all time is Frailty, and it's definitely my favorite Bill Paxton movie. So again, very, very young, and very, very sad that he passed away. He was extremely talented, a wonderful actor, and had a really great career, and so rest in peace to Bill. The last two I'm going to mention because they are icons, and I don't agree with a lot of the things that they did, and I'm not supporting a lot of the things that they did or anything like that, but they did die in 2017, and that's like a death of legends. Which one of them would be Hugh Hefner? Obviously, everybody knows, and a lot of people loved Hugh Hefner. Personally, I did not agree with how he lived his life and whatever, but I'm sure he, you know, he had a very long and good life, so rest in peace, I will say, to Hugh Hefner. And that brings me to the most controversial one. Some people are sad about this, some people are celebrating about this. I am kind of neutral. I'm like, you know, it's finally, it was time. Why did it take this long? But it's also like, can't believe I'm saying this, but Charles Manson died quite recently, so he should have died a long time ago, I believe, but he was horrible, a disgusting psychopath, and I don't agree with anything he did, but he did speak very well. And even if his messages were the wrong messages, you can tell he was right on. He was the right person to lead a cult, because he definitely had the charisma to be a cult leader and get people to do what they want. So even though he was a horrible person, I'm not going to say rest in peace to Charles Manson, but we did lose an icon. But you know, it's good. It's happy. Look at my stripes. So that is everybody. I know there's so many other celebrities who passed away in 2017 that I did not mention, but these are the ones that hit me the hardest. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was interesting to some degree. Please have a wonderful and safe, I cannot say that word more, have a safe New Year's Eve. Leave down in the comments what passing was hardest for you in 2017, and make sure to give this video a big like if you like these kind of just chatty, regular, sit down kind of videos where we just, you know, hang out and talk about stuff. I don't know. Remember, go down, hit that subscribe button, and subscribe to this channel right now, and become a Blaizer and a part of the Blaize Nation. We'd love to have you here as long as you're as wicked as we are. And I will talk to you guys soon, probably next year. So happy New Year's, everybody, and goodbye 2017. You sucked so much. Next time, guys, stay wicked.
Yeah, we